Allow me first to convey a fraternal greetings and felicitations of the South African Parliament to this august house of the elected people's representatives of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I also take this opportunity to once more express my singular appreciation for the kind invitation extended to me by my dear brother and friend, His Excellency President Buhari, to visit this great country. Your invitation, Mr. President, means a lot to us. It tells a story of the need for our two sister countries to partner together, not only to strengthen bilateral relations, but also to partner together in pursuit of the continental integration, peace, security, and development. May I also express my profound gratitude for the honor bestowed to me to address the National Assembly of Nigeria. We believe that this gesture indicates the seriousness with which the relations between South Africa and Nigeria are taken by this House. Your Excellencies, national legislatures have come to play a pivotal role in the enhancement of bilateral relations between countries, evolving from their traditional roles of oversight of the executive and the passage of legislation. We are convinced that the relations between the National Assembly of Nigeria and the Parliament of South Africa will grow into a cooperation that will enhance people-to-people exchanges. We are also very pleased to stand here this afternoon in a building that symbolizes democracy in Nigeria. In 2015, the people of Nigeria proved Afro-pessimists wrong by the manner in which you conducted the elections, thus facilitating a democratic change of government.
News Today takes an in-depth look on news locally, continentally, and globally. We bring the world to your home. We cover all economy news extensively to keep you informed. We are live to break news as and when they happen across the world. We analyze news using experts in all aspects. Make a date with News Today every Monday to Friday from 3 to 5:30 p.m.
We're heading to a future of cars that will drive themselves, and a place where robots will be doing some of our chores. But the challenge in Africa is to make sure that everyone is part of this new world.
To be behind with technology, it is a challenge for us as offenders.
There are many initiatives to ensure that Africans are truly connected.
We're now giving more access and internet to now the end users.
On Network, we have information on Africa's technology landscape, possibilities for the future, and some great African innovations. That's Network with me, Spumelele Zondi, every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Central African Time.
Vera Ephraim defied family and traditions to follow her dream.
Decided that I'm going to prove to them that they were wrong.
The first breakthrough came in when she was studying and touring in Europe.
That was my first breakthrough.
Generations was her first television debut in South Africa.
It was my first gig. I was very excited. I was very happy. I said, yeah, this is confirmation I'm at the right place.
After pain, rejection, and suffering, her dream became a reality.
I followed my path, and I'm happy and grateful and blessed.
Join your host, Wileng Mulabati, on Wupilong every Friday at 17:30.
We are incredibly proud of you as you, in a profound way, charted a way the entire continent needs to follow. For that, we salute you and congratulate you once more. Nigeria supported the liberation struggles of the people of Southern Africa and African and South Africa specifically, outside of the multilateral forum. In his powerful speech to the OAU Extraordinary Summit on Angola, in 1976, General Muhammad opened his address by saying, and I quote, "Mr. Chairman, when I contemplate the evils of apartheid, my heart bleeds, and I'm sure the heart of every true-blooded African bleeds," unquote. In conclusion, General Muhammad said, and I quote again, "Africa has come of age and will no longer accept dictates from any so-called superpower," unquote. It was within this context that General Tala Muhammad, immediately after the situation in Angola was explained to him, withdrew Nigeria's support of the OAU position, calling for a government of national unity between the FNLA of national unity between the FNA of Holden Roberto and UNITA of Jonas Savimbi, and the MPLA of Agostino Neto. He took a firm decision for Nigeria to support the MPLA, which resonated with the position of many liberation movements in Southern Africa, including our own, the African National Congress. It is thus clear that our time-tested relations and engagements between our countries far predate the formal relations established after South Africa attained its freedom. The people of Nigeria provided unwavering support and solidarity to the people of South Africa to unseat the last bastion of colonialism in Africa and enable us to attain our freedom. I would like to remind especially the youth in our two countries of the role that Nigeria played in the struggle for liberation in South Africa. Nigeria was instrumental in establishing in the 1960s and chairing for 25 years the United Nations Special Committee Against Apartheid and further hosted a UN Anti-Apartheid Conference in 1977. From the mid-70s, Nigeria and its people also hosted some of the exiled freedom fighters from South Africa, with numbers increasing after the Soweto student uprising in 1976. By coincidence or design, this year we also commemorate the 40th anniversary of the Soweto students uprising in June 1976. June 16 is this year commemorated as the International Day of the African Child, since it was first instituted by the then Assembly Head of State of the OAU in 1991. It is within this context that our hearts and prayers are always with the Chibok girls who were abducted from their dormitories in April 2014 by the terrorist group Boko Haram here in Nigeria. We remain hopeful and trust that your efforts to find and secure those children will bear positive results. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, Nigeria's support to liberation struggles in Southern Africa has special place in the history of the African continent.
Health Talk looks into the increase of suicide and symptoms leading to suicide.
The death wish grows when you go into depression after a lot of stress.
And often when we talk about suicide, we don't talk about a person wanting to stop living, but rather wanting to stop living in pain.
After losing everything in life that lead you to no options but suicide.
I had that spirit of fear in me to say, don't even face tomorrow.
After being overwhelmed with stress and trauma, it becomes difficult to have self-control.
People learning tools and skills that will practically enable them to meet these challenges.
In trying times, never be alone. Reach out for help to a better solution.
Support should be done by a counselor or psychologist, where you're able to speak about how you're feeling in a safe, accepting, non-judgmental space.
For all your health tips, join Dr. Silo Mudawuni every Saturday from 9 till 10.
Ahika Mano produces abstract and symbolic works of art. He called his latest collection Vote with Ink, Not Blood.
Praying for peace, literally, in my own way.
The South African film titled Luister or Listen in Afrikaans tackles issues of race in the country.
I think that the end goal is the reformation of institutional culture, but how we get there is in fact through changing the language policy so that no student is forced to learn in Afrikaans.
It's fashion designers like Julia Mpoko who are starting to pay more attention to menswear and hope to make a mark in the fashion industry.
So regardless of whether you're African, European, there's certain styles that you like. So if an African man enjoys wearing simple, well-tailored pants, then yes, I guess.
Join Refulo Mula for that 1-hour weekly dose of arts and entertainment news every Friday at 9 p.m. on Trends.
Acting on principle and the determination to root out colonialism and apartheid, Nigeria volunteered to be part of the frontline states, a regional group of countries in Southern Africa that were in the front line to fight apartheid. Nigeria provided travel documents to South African exiles en route to different parts of the globe to solicit support for our struggle. Furthermore, Nigeria established the Southern African Relief Fund in 1976 to provide scholarships and other assistance to South African students and refugees. Hundreds of South African students were also trained in Nigerian universities. More importantly, Nigerian civil servants had a Mandela tax deducted directly from their monthly salaries to support our struggle for equality. This was a real selfless contribution to the cause of freedom and an end to apartheid colonialism in South Africa. Nigeria also canvassed for and led a boycott of the Commonwealth Games within the Commonwealth Group of Nations in 1978 and 1986. These relations between the two countries are informed by this rich history, a history that needs to be told endlessly to current and future generations. This history provided a context within which the establishment of formal bilateral relations in 1994 between the two countries was located. Economic cooperation between our two countries can therefore serve as the bedrock of the continent's economic cooperation and intra-Africa trade. This is the kind of leadership Africa expects South Africa and Nigeria to provide. In this regard, South Africa's solid minerals mining experience can contribute to solid minerals exploration operation in Nigeria. Our experience in electricity generation can also be tapped into to assist in Nigeria's electricity generation to name also important is the need to improve people-to-people relations. South African Airways direct flight route between Johannesburg and Abuja, which commenced operations on the 26th January 2015, has added to the Johannesburg and Lagos route, which has been operational for a good number of years. The route indicates the growing relations between our two countries. It also provides potential to boost tourism both ways. It reduces travel time between Abuja and Pretoria for intergovernmental cooperation and boosts business engagement between the two countries. Your Excellencies, South Africa and Nigeria are strategic partners in the pursuit of the African agenda, South Africa cooperation, and in the promotion of rules-based international system. Both countries share a common vision on issues of political and economic integration in Africa and on the need for a sustainable conflict resolution mechanism in Africa that is primarily driven by Africans. At the global sphere, we share a common vision on the need for the reform of the multilateral institutions such as the United Nations, particularly the UN Security Council. We share the views about the reform of the international financial institutions, the IMF, the World Trade Organization, and the World Bank, to be more reflective of the realities of the changed and changing international environment. Our two countries must continue to advocate for rules-based international system and must unite and work together in this regard in order to achieve a more just and equal world. Mr. President and honorable members of the Senate and the House of Representatives, Nigeria and South Africa must forge a strong strategic partnership. We need to strengthen our political, economic, and social and cultural cooperation. We need to advance the continental integration and transformation informed by the African Union's Constitutive Act. We need to unite and work together on this issue, on the issues of peace and security. This should include the bringing into operation of the standby force and their capabilities. We commit ourselves to playing our part to achieve this. Let the citizens of Africa march together to defeat all those forces that bring harm and suffering to our continent. that the citizens of the continent march together towards a brighter future, a future filled with prosperity and happiness. South Africa and Nigeria, acting together in unity, must play a key role towards the achievement of these goals and objectives. I thank you.
Brought to you by SABC News, Africa's news leader.